Welcome back to the GSL Up and Downs. Tiebreakers aside, we have 3 final matches left to decide who will join Creator in Codes.
Here we have the ranking, and we go through a few scenarios in just a few seconds. As mentioned before the break, Creator is leading with a 4-0. He's already in Code S. The 4 players in the middle, Shine, Center, Effort, and Ryung, still have a shot at Code S. And Killer is already out. He is in Code A next season. The next 3 matches are going to be Effort versus Center, Shine versus Killer, and Creator versus Ryung if needed. We could potentially have a tiebreaker between Center, Shine, and Ryung if they win the next matches. This game that we have now in front of us matters, of course, for basically all of these players. If Effort takes it, then Ryung and Center are in Code A, and the game between Creator and Ryung doesn't have to be played anymore, because we will only need Shine versus Killer. Reason being is that Shine, if he wins versus Killer, and Effort now wins versus Center, would actually advance to Code S because he won the direct comparison against Effort. So therefore, the game really important for Effort and Shine. If Center, on the other hand, wins, Effort has no chance of advancing anymore, and we will have a bit of a different scenario. But now let's just jump into the game here on Daybreak, the GSL Up and Down Group B.
To the bottom left, one of our Kespa players in the group from the team, CJ Entus. He is...
CJ Entus.
Well, you know, we talked about the pronunciation of that Street Fighter voice.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. Well, the turn to the top right of the map, cross position of course, is former TSL member, now playing for Quantic. He is
Quantic Center.
Once again, if Effort wins here, then Center and Ryung are in Code A. If Center wins, then he, Ryung, and Shine still have a chance to advance.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, if Effort wins, then only Effort or Shine will potentially advance to Code S.
Exactly.
So
basically,
the Kespa curse will be broken if that happens.
Yeah.
This could actually happen right now.
If Effort wins, then the Kespa curse is broken, the Kespa up and down curse. Basically, whoever loses is definitely in Code A. It affects the other players, of course, too, as we pointed out, but whoever loses here will be in Code A.
This makes this match very tense, very important. It affects both players. Almost a block on the CC. That would have been annoying. He will have to bring a second SCV down, though, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's completely right. That's confirmed.
Yes.
Color approves.
Almost a block.
Calder approves of this statement, Wolf.
Look at that, by the way, Calder. He's going double hatch before full.
That is taking quite the risk here.
He's scouted everything. You know, still there are some really strong timings for Center, though.
And Center actually goes scouting on his own. Will he scout the third?
Probably not initially, but he'll be able to tell by the pool timing. There's no way that Effort can stop him.
He should be able to tell.
Oh, he's actually going to go check it first. He's so smart. He sees the drone scout and he's like, well, maybe not actually. I thought his SCV was going in that direction.
Nah, he's not.
I thought, I was like, you know what? If he sees the drone scout this early and he sees the commander first, it might make sense for him to check that, but...
I mean, if he actually scouts it, the first thing that he has to do is start another base, going into a third. I would be surprised if he decides to go for an aggressive timing. Now with the pool timing that he just spotted, he should already assume, or at least kind of suspect, that there is a third base, and he even walks to the top left immediately.
Yep. Sees it, and now that he's seen this, he's going to start command, like you said, very soon.
He actually went into double gas.
Yeah, interesting. You know, if you see your opponent go gas as well, it's a little bit uncomfortable to go for a fast third CC without gas, because you know that he's going to have speed out pretty soon.
He might be able to kill the drone. No, he's not. He's not going for it.
Effort too quick on the draw there. Well, he's going to deny some mining here.
But it's really interesting to see that Center, upon scouting the third base, does not decide to go into a third base on his own, but instead wants to be aggressive with a double gas that he immediately saturates, which will allow him to get the fast attack. We might actually even see him go into Cloak Banshees.
We could see that. And that would really throw somebody who goes for this type of hatchery play off a little bit. Depends on his lair timings, of course.
Usually you get the extra queens though if you go for a build like this, and we have 2 queens getting a third. I'm really interested to see what exactly Senna is trying to pull off here. I mean, he's obviously going for a timing with this now. He has to. If he plays too like passive with this for too long, then Effort will get way ahead of him.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that, think about who Senna actually is. Senna is a teammate of the player who did this for the first time.
It's true. And he's actually just going to walk into the third with only 3 Marines, but that's not going to work without any bunkering or any support. Like, being alone will actually just push this away. That was kind of weird.
The thing is just like, Senna will probably have practice against this build quite a bit, so he should be in a position where he does not only... He sees it and he has the experience against this build that he knows, well, if you do this, I can hit this and this timing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's probably trying to do here. The third as a follow-up, but only after he got enough gas to get his tech going.
Oh, nice micro here by both players. Center trying to get out and escape, but Effort too quick for him. Catches those Marines, isolates them, trapping them. Effort, you could see in his supply, and just, I mean, taking a look at the Harvester count right now, it's 43, about to be 47 against 37. You can just see how that third base really early helps out. Picks off some workers here as well.
He gets the extra queens now for defense, spreads the creep between the natural and his third base, really important if you're facing any kind of airplay. Anything where the queens are important, also against Hellions, very useful. Starport has now been started, also a double engineering bay here for center. He really wants to make this extra gas that he now has work, but the upgrades are a little bit faster for Effort. His economy is really starting to kick in.
The center has a lot of extra gas that he can't quite use just yet. Until those E-bays are done now, he hits it. You can see how he's trying to just push his tech out and take that advantage rather than trying to hit a timing attack, but I feel Effort still has a pretty large edge in this game because of his economy, because of the production he had earlier on. I wouldn't even be surprised if he adds a macro hatch here with his lair.
It would make perfect sense if he would add it, like not immediately right now, but he needs one. He definitely has the economy to support this. Can even go into a 4th base if he gets rid of those Hellions for a little bit. It's just like really nice to see that he hits his macro so well. He wasn't supply booked or anything. He starts his upgrades, he goes into the extra gas. So he's playing a really good game. But also because Senna doesn't pressure him. Effort currently can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Center also does not take his command center and put it to the low ground. He's still got it hiding. Oh, this is not good for these Lings. They cannot fight the Hellions. Well, unless the micro is poor.
No, still. No. That was not the best trade.
You know, I feel...
It wasn't horrible or anything,
yeah, exactly.
But it was what, like...
Could have been better.
He got 2 Hellions, I think.
Yeah, and he damaged the other ones quite significantly. Here comes the drop play. This is something you can do to really throw a Zerg player off because it doesn't have Spire yet. And I feel Effort may just cut the Spire out entirely based on how he's playing right now.
He sees the drop though.
And starts bailing speed, and he's the Spire. As soon as he sees the drop, he's like, you know what, I'm not going to try to skip this.
Yeah. And the Lings are already on their way back, a little bit late if you ask me, but with the creep they are definitely fast enough, and here comes the drop.
I feel if Center had dropped stationary in the corner and had his Marines all pumped up, he might have been able to fight this a little bit longer.
He lost also a lot of the Marines in the second medivac, and even the block now at the third base with the creep spread. Really well done by Effort.
This game is just not going Center's way. He's just having a bunch of problems dealing with all of the different multitasking and strategy that Effort is putting out, from defense to aggression to openings.
It's definitely true. Look at the upgrades now with +2/+2 already ahead for Effort. Senna is trying to start his own upgrades. There we go. Second armor upgrade just now being started. But for Effort, this is definitely going a little bit better. Senna is keeping up in overall supply and also in tech and upgrades, but the edge is in favor of the Zerg player.
Effort is getting Burrow again. We've seen him use great Burrow landmines, but also just Burrow links for vision throughout this up and down group, so I expect to see some more of that.
Against Yuryang, he looked really good with that.
Yeah, really nice vision, just constantly aware of what's going on. Spire is ready, 8 mutas started. Probably not going to make any more than that initially here. He could if he wants to. Those Banelings are still just chilling out at the bottom right. He's probably going to use these for mines as soon as the Burrow upgrade is ready.
Yeah, and Sander is completely happy with just turtling on 3 bases for now, which allows Sander to get his 4th base. We'll probably get a lot more than that, even getting the 5th at the top left at some point. But for now, the drops are still roaming the map, trying to shut down a few overlords, kill a few creep tumors. So that's where the Mutalisks come into play.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little annoyance.
And he also has to have a few Zerglings. Mutalisks alone are not good against this, and this is the reason why.
Yep. He's actually going to eventually be cleaned up, but he gets one Muta, and oh my god, those Banelings. Let's see how many kills in total. Only 10, in fact, so we saw it for just a second. It looked more devastating than it really was.
Yeah. Fourth base is nearly completed, and Effort is still in a bit of a supply lead, but the bigger issue is the bank that he has.
And the worker count is 79 to 55 in Effort's favor. He just has this massive drone count that he can now saturate a 4th base with.
He's also still spreading creep, and we had those Banelings there. They were probably trying... He probably tried to burrow them.
Yeah,
but
he may have made a mistake by, you know, a misclick there.
I actually think that he probably just positioned the Banelings, and then when the burrow upgrade finished, he didn't immediately jump there. So then Sander saw them before they were burrowed. Now they attempted run by, and ooh, those Hellions don't pay attention at all.
Hellions will always beat something like this if you're watching them. But if you're not, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Lings are running away from a small group of Marines, kind of a funny looking sight, but Center has to do something to secure this 4th base, and if he can do that and make sure he continues to keep up with Effort's tech switching, he'll be able to get his way back in this game. But as it is now, Effort just has this lead that is not going to vanish on its own.
Senna is trying his best, but now he's going to lose one of the missile turrets. Actually, he's going for the mass repair right away, and this is working out quite well for him. Loses 2 SCVs, but the Marines are there for the rescue. The important thing is that what Effort is doing is like really trying to control the map with this creep spread that is everywhere, going into the additional attack. He's setting up a few Baneling landmines to make sure that approaching the Zerg play is really difficult and frightening for Sander. Sander is just trying to get those 4 bases up, but this is at a point where it's really difficult for him to do anything.
Well, that was... Well, this is going to be the scary part. The Lings are totally unattended.
I don't think that Senna can actually do anything against us.
He raises his depots very smartly. Nice targeting on the siege tanks by the Mutas, but the Banelings do not connect with anything of value here.
But it really doesn't matter all too much. The siege tanks are now gone, so the reinforcements have like open marine. And also we have the Banelings rolling.
Those Banelings, and they're on creep. Center needs to split. He cannot freeze. He cannot panic. He splits decently well.
And all those siege tanks took away a lot of the Banelings, so this was actually a really good fight for Senna, but he moves in and takes down the tanks before the Marines are there to the rescue. And this is now a Terran player without support for his Marines. Always scary.
Yeah. Center is... He looked like he had this powerful force rolling through the map that Effort would not be able to deal with, but then Effort tore up his economy, forced a lift on the command center, killed a lot of harvesters, and then traded decently well, and with the bank he has, he can keep doing this.
The 3rd base of Senna is still not mining. It's still not mining, it's still just hovering there.
Yeah, he's even got a bird lane to block it.
This is getting really tricky. He's falling behind fast because he doesn't have the economy to back this up. He's now down to 113 supply against 154, and now +3 has been started as the armor upgrade. We have Adrenal Glands coming up, Infest is coming into play. This is just Effort really pulling all the strings.
Yeah, he's not pulling any punches, that's for sure. Oh, the command center even immediately, as soon as it lands, it has to be lifted. He's even burning a little bit.
Yeah, and the Lings run away. So this is really scary. I mean, we have the tech with the Greater Spire. We also have this presence on the map with Lings and Banelings that do a lot of damage. Have the better upgrades soon. Go for the Adrenal Glands upgrades. The Planetary is, of course, where it ends. That's where the aggression for Effort is being thwarted.
You could see he considered right-clicking on it, and then he was like, ah, this is smart.
He could have done it. He has definitely the lead to pull that off. But it's also taking a bit of a risk.
Yeah, if you do that and you barely don't get it, then it's definitely a way to let your opponent get back into the game, and he doesn't absolutely have to do that right now.
Little punches like this is what Senna can do, taking out a base with a drop while Effort is busy somewhere else on the map. This is something that can really work in Senna's favor and bring him an edge or at least an opening against his opponent. So maybe he can claw his way back. 3-3, those are the upgrades that Effort is currently researching.
Center cannot afford to run into a Baneling landmine right now, for example. He cannot afford to get flanked or get fungled.
He can't afford a lot here, especially not the next set of upgrades.
He needs to just be extremely careful and cautious in Turtle. Get those upgrades out, as you were mentioning. The Broodlords are ready, and he just does not have the infrastructure to deal with these. He scans, he sees this, he starts a Viking and a Marauder.
The Lings are running in. I have no idea how Effort always does this, but his Lings, wherever they are, always run in at the right angle and even past the reinforcements. Look at all those Marines living alive on the edge. If they walk to the bottom for a second, they will all just...
Like this?
Yeah, like this.
Oh, sick Baneling hit.
Oh my god.
That scan was just a second too late, you know?
Yeah, definitely a second too late, and this was just perfect play by Effort, and now he's running in, forcing a siege up.
I
now
love
we have
this. I mean, this is... So many Zergs would have just run into those siege tanks. He forces the unsiege, goes in, traps the tanks, and Center, nowhere to run, nowhere to split. The Fungals are good.
The Fungals are awesome. This is exactly the Fungals that he needed. All the Terran units clumped up. The Banelings say thank you. Roll in and take out the army. Suddenly Center is down to 90 supply, and it looks like Effort is able to break the Casper up and down curse.
Yeah, it certainly is looking that way. 70 supply lead here. The Muta's going to chase down and kill that drop, further eliminating some more of Center's supply. GG!
Center defeated. Center and Ryung therefore are in Code A next season. Effort, he has a good position to be in Code S, but it's not up to him. It is up to Shine versus Killer. If Killer loses to Shine, then Shine will advance to Code S because he's tied with Effort and he won the direct comparison.
Exactly. This is why these little matches, you know, you think about it, it's a match here, a match there. Does it really matter? It adds up, yes. But when you get into the situation where it's no longer in your control and you lose that 1ZZ to a builder loss, that's why he stayed in the game, because he knows, he's already looked at the match ahead and he's like, oh, well then now I have to beat somebody who's really good and then hope that somebody else loses.
Yep.
To somebody who does not seem to be doing very well.
We will see only one game today. That's the last game of the day now. Shine versus Killer. If Shine wins the match, he's in Code S. If Shine loses, Effort is in Code S. Either way, it's going to be a Creator and a Zerg player, a Casper Zerg player that advances to Code S today. So Effort or Shine, we're going to find out. The big problem for Effort really is, as you already pointed out, he lost the direct match to Shine.
Yeah, that's the situation we come down to. That actually just determines everything.
Yep.
So Killer is a player who has gone now 0-4. And his dignity is on the line. If he wins this match, he can also stop his opponent from going to Code S. But, I mean, does that really mean anything to him?
I don't know. I would not want to end up in a position where I lost every single match in my up and down.
You could see last game he really tried. He even stayed in the game longer than most people probably would have expected him to.
Exactly. He stayed in the game longer than most people would have in this situation. The only one that I can couple up with that would have probably stayed a little bit longer is Marine King. But besides him, Killer really tried everything to turn this thing around. But now he is 0-4, and I don't think he really wants to be 0-5.
Nobody wants to be 0-5.
Yeah. You fight in this game.
This is also a matchup where it's a little bit tougher for you to do all-ins. We saw Killer play macro games in this matchup so far today. A bit suicidal at the end of it all, but look at that Killer face. That's the expression of the sandbag player.
Yeah.
He is not happy.
And Shine is looking for something.
I hope he finds it.
Where did my build order go?
He is like, is that floor the same? He's like, yeah, I guess so. It's okay.
He has like a build order sheet.
Keeps it on the floor like a cheater? Nah, I don't think so.
Well, Shine can do it. On his own accord, if he takes it now.
Look at Killer, man, clasping his hands in a prayer-like motion there for just a moment.
He wants to pull this off now. He wants to be at least one player today. The map actually, look at that, Achillon Flats once again, Zerg versus Protoss. This is going to be a very interesting match. Let's see what Shine has up his sleeve for this important game. Will he advance to Code S, or is it going to be Effort? We're going to find out right now with GSL up and down Group B with Colin Wolf.